so this is a little bit last minute, even though I knew about this a long time ago. Just that last minute of a person.
I think yours is last minute. I've known about this for years.
You just learned how to juggle, huh?
I just figured it out.
Halfway there. So, most of you know that I'm a fourth year med student, and I think that pretty much all of my greatest stories come from the hospital now, which is sort of sad, but that's where I live. And it's sort of awesome, too. So, some of these might be a little bit inappropriate, but you can't have any fun without that. So, here are some things, some of the best things that I have surprisingly seen.
True stories?
Yeah, true stories. All of this is true.
Okay.
Can't make this up. So, last week, my resident grabbed me and he said, "Hey, I have this really interesting X-ray." And I told this to you earlier. I have this really interesting X-ray I want you to see. So I thought, oh, cool. Like maybe it's something like a cool disease process that they taught us and I've never seen before in real life. And so I look at the X-ray and it's an abdominal scan and it has two little metal rings, kind of like a gyroscope, and they're weighted, and that's how I figured out what a billiard ball looks like on an X-ray.
Somebody swallowed a billiard?
No. Next story.
Ruthie, you're so cute.
We all wanted to know.
Hey, Ruth, don't ask any more questions.
That would be a good thing. I once saw a 5-year-old fold up a clear plastic straw and stick it so far up his nose. It was there for 2 months. It got infected. They tried antibiotics, didn't work. Infection came back. It was just like pouring out stuff. Why is this happening? I don't understand. The doctors already looked up the nose, can't see any foreign objects or anything like that. And I took a look up there and I just caught a glimmer of a reflection, and I said, I think he has a piece of plastic up there. So we went up and grabbed it, and this long straw covered in infected material came out. This little kid had it in there for 2 months. He had neatly folded this into little pieces and just crammed it up there. It was like way up there. I was impressed. I've also seen little kids stick beads inside of their ears. This is a common thing. It's kind of they get really excited. They say, "Look at my ear! Look at my ear!" And you know that there's something wrong because they usually scream when you try to do it. And then there's beads of glitter in there, so it's fun. It's really fun to get out too. This is my favorite story. It's modified a little bit for the crowd. And so you can use your imagination and connect the dots. So I once saw, and this is true, a domino whittled down into the shape of a heart and inserted under the skin in a really sensitive area. It had been there for 18 months before this guy came in at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night. That's a true emergency.
So which kind of doctor did you have to call?
A urologist.
Too many questions. No questions from the audience.
Buy a domino.
Whittled down into the shape of a heart while he was in prison.
Oh,
he got
drunk.
drunk.
More sense.
Yeah, in prison.
Ow. Yet another reason why you don't want to go to prison.
Yeah, it recently become infected.
It's called the domino effect when you go to jail.
It's a domino infect.
So if there were enough people that did that it had a name for itself, that would be my job would be so much less exciting. I love being just like sidelined by this stuff. Yeah.
Did he say why?
Ruth!
Same answer to your first question. Move on.
It was a present for his girlfriend.
He's a dominatrix.
I'm not shy after a couple of years of doing this, so I asked him if she liked it. Turns out no.
She said domino.
That's everybody's favorite.
That is a great story.
My kids are here.
Don't get any ideas.
Yeah, seriously, don't get ideas from this
plus
list.
your oldest sister.
A patient once brought in a live bat inside of a trash bag. I saw in the one-liner history that, or the chief complaint that we get before we walk into the room, you know, exposure to bat. I didn't realize that I was going to get exposure to bat. So there was a moving trash bag in there. I said, "Is that what I think it is?" And the patient's like, "Yeah, don't you test it for rabies?" And I said, No, we don't. So good to know. We do not.
Why
No.
did he bring it in?
Are you a vampire?
It was his pet bat.
If you're even exposed to a bat, you can contract rabies.
Are you a vampire?
Really?
They do not have to bite you.
But he captured it.
Yep.
Wow.
Which doesn't matter. If you're exposed to a bat, we give you the...
He saw the bat,
Oh.
and by the
Like,
time
you
he
just
caught
got
it, he was
close to
exposed to it.
Wow.
Yeah, if you're...
Bats can carry up to 10 times their weight, just like ants.
That's impressive.
Fun fact for the day.
Good job. You're talented.
Hey!
Wow.
I saw a patient that was once involuntarily admitted to the psych department for having delusions about her neighbors coming into her house and messing with her things. Odd things like messing with her internet connection and messing with her computer and, you know, just really bizarre kind of stories. But I said, hey, it's possible, right? And it turns out that they had.
Oh my God.
She had been getting drugs against her will for antipsychotics for about a week before the police investigated.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Yay, America!
America's Got Talent.
Wow.
I was the only one that slightly believed him. Like, I've heard of crazier things before. Like C1
Dominoes?
When babies are born, they kind of take them back and the doctors do their exam. I'm not sure if anybody has ever witnessed the actual first exam that their newborn gets, but there's probably a reason why they don't let you watch in most hospitals, and that's because some of the reflexes that we test are a little bit weird to watch. So my personal favorite is the startle reflex. And it's something that's natural for a baby to have, and if they don't, it might be something abnormal with them. So we do all the reflexes, and the startle reflex is rapid deceleration of the child to fake drop them. Yes, exactly. And their reflex from this, you know, sudden movement downwards is to go like this.
And that would pick up hair not, right?
Yeah.
I thought if they
But
landed
I
on
think
their
it's
hands,
hilarious.
they're okay.
Doing it wrong all these years.
I want to see that on YouTube. Rapid deceleration of newborns.
It's called the startle reflex.
The startle
and
one.
it's
Startle
really funny.
I thought
Yeah,
they would
you
just
can
go,
look it up.
hey! You know,
And
like that. And
If you have a baby, I would highly suggest trying it. Or even if your friend has one, too. Just try it.
Good to go.
And then, you know, on a more serious note, but still kind of awesome, I've seen 80 and 90-year-olds with broken hips, broken necks, broken legs, broken arms that take it like champs. They laugh about it. They're, like, writhing in pain, but still they're like, this is nothing. And I've seen 20-year-olds bawling like little babies when I have to suture up a finger laceration under anesthesia. So, and another important story about age discrimination. I had a patient last week come in who was having tachycardia, very, very fast, up to 200 beats per minute.
What's that?
And so her heart goes way too fast. You can't sustain that beat. And so to give a person's to give medication to slow the heart down, there's only really one contraindication for this medication, and that's cocaine use. So this lady was, I think, a little bit older than 80, I believe, and nobody asked the question. And I was like, well, I feel sort of stupid asking this, but have you had any cocaine lately? Like, of course she's gonna say no. And she had it like 2 hours ago. Never just assume.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway.
Interesting.